What is up everyone, my name is Jasper and in today's video I want to go over my goals for 2022. So last week I made a video covering basically kind of an overview of 2021, and in short 2021 just really wasn't my best of years. In fact, it is probably my worst year so far. But in 2022 I want to start with a clean slate, and I think I can do that best by setting some clear goals for the next year. So setting goals is something I've always done, but I've always kind of approached it in the wrong way. I usually just made goals which were basically like dreams. What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to be? And it wasn't really about things that I can actually influence. So this year I really want to make some clear goals, but I want these goals to be something that I can personally do. So an example of this is I'm not going to set a goal of me wanting to earn $5,000 a month. There are just so many factors that are outside of my influence that will decide whether or not I will make $5,000 a month or not. Instead, I'm going to set goals such as an article goal or publishing a video every week. These are things I can personally do and that I have actual influence over. Now, looking back at last year of 2021, I had set a goal for myself that I wanted to publish 600 articles. Now, I set this goal back in November, and in November I was basically at the top of my blogging business so far. In November of 2020, I was earning $8,000 a month and things were just going great. So I set some pretty large goals. It was also the time I onboarded 5 writers. So I thought to myself, if all of these writers can write 120 articles, we are already there. Of course, since then, a lot of things have gone wrong. The core update came around and it smashed my site into the ground. I lost all my writers as of recently. So a lot of things have happened. So this time I want to set some different goals. So no longer am I going to shooting for monetary goals or extreme numbers. I'm just going to be a little bit more realistic, but still challenging. But before we dive into the goals, there's one thing I really want to touch on first, and that's the keyword of next year, and it's going to be focus. I really need to focus on a few specific things. So if you've watched last video, which was the 2021 recap, you know that ever since the core update, I've been kind of jumping around from shiny object to shiny object. I messed with day trading, I want to start new sites, I wanted to do a bunch of different things. And I think that it's one of the main reasons why 2021 was such a standstill for me. I didn't really focus on one thing. I think if I focused all of my attention into one website for the entire year, instead of jumping around from thing to thing to thing, I think I would be in a at least very nice position. But instead, I poured it into a bunch of different things, and that's really why I want to focus on just 1 or 2 websites next year. And those 1 or 2 websites are of course going to be the accessory website and a website I've been following on this channel. And I really just need to get a better name for that instead of the website I've been following on this channel. But I will come up with a name for that for the next time I'm mentioning it. But really, I just want to focus on those 2 sites. And I want to focus on those 2 sites because I think that those have the most potential. Now, secondly, I really want to have a more structured approach next year. Last year, I really just did things. I didn't really organize things. I didn't manage things well. I really want to treat my business as an actual business again. So I want to set some clear hours. I want to set some clear benchmarks. I want to set some clear goals for every month. And I will go into all of these monthly goals in a little while. I just really want to treat this as a business again, and I think doing that by making things more structured is the way to go. Now I'm going to be structuring things by moving my workflow into ClickUp. Now ClickUp is a program I have used in the past when I onboarded my 5 writers, and ClickUp is just an amazing management tool. I use it to kind of put in all the tasks and all the different articles and titles that I need to be written. I just put all of those in ClickUp, and it was such an organized and such a smooth workflow. It was just amazing, and I really just want to create that again. So I don't have that much experience with ClickUp. I just use the very basic functions, but I think having those basic functions, having things organized is just a much better approach than a few spreadsheets here and there with possible titles, and maybe these are the costs, and maybe this is when they are done. I just want to make it organized again, and I think ClickUp is a great start. So let's now dive into some of my goals. And remember, these are only goals of things that I can actually influence, such as writing articles or producing videos. So let's start with the first goal, and this is going to be a very simple one, and that is upholding my current uploading schedule. So for those of you who don't know it yet, I always upload a video on Thursday. And I really just want to uphold this. As I mentioned in the beginning, the keyword of this year is going to be focus. And I really need to focus on the core aspect of my business, which is the blogging part. Now, YouTube is a lot of fun and I really don't mind making a video every week. In fact, I really enjoy it. But I should not stray away from the core of my business, which is producing articles and making websites. So I think that by upholding the current schedule, I am not taking away too much time from my blogging business and I can still work on this YouTube thing, which I'm really enjoying. Now, as for the articles, I have set a goal for myself of 450 articles in the year of 2022. Now, 450 articles comes down to 1.2 articles every single day. And I think that this is actually really doable. Now, 1.2 articles, of course, is doable if you're writing by yourself, which I currently am. But I do plan on hiring writers and using content writing services. So I think that if I write an article a day myself, or even an article every 2 or 3 days, I think when you supplement that with the extra articles from writers or from writing services, I think 450 is actually a really feasible goal. Don't get me wrong, of course, 450 is still going to be a challenge. It will be by far the most articles I've published in a single year. So I am really going to give it my best shot. I do expect to actually hit this target this time around. As I mentioned, I want to treat things more seriously. I want to treat this as an actual business. Now, don't expect to reach 1.2 articles a day right from the get-go. Instead, I'm going to split it up into quarterly averages. So to put it simply, in the first quarter, I would like to average 30 articles a month. In the second quarter, I want to average 35 articles a month. In the third quarter, I want to average 40 articles a month. And in the last quarter, in the fourth quarter, I want to average 45 articles per month. Now, conveniently, when you tie all of this up, it comes down to a total of 450 articles. So that's perfect. But I think splitting it up in an upward trend is a lot more beneficial for me. Especially because currently I am without a team and I expect to grow a new team throughout the year. And I also expect to put in some orders with other content writing services. But as of now, I am on my own. I do have one order standing out for about 30 articles, but that will be delivered to me all throughout January and February. But I think with this gradual increase, I don't overwhelm myself right from the start and I can kind of get used to producing larger amounts of content while not just straight up overwhelming myself. I also have to wait for some extra money to come in. I know that AdThrive and probably all of the other pretty large ad networks, they pay on a basis where they pay you 2 months later. So all your December earnings will be paid out in March. So, well, of course, Q4 is the best time of the year in terms of advertising rates. A lot of money is coming in February and March. And I think when that money comes in, I am able to outsource more. I am able to order more from content writing services. I just think that it makes for a much easier way to reach my actual goal, which is the 450 articles. Now, as for where these articles are going, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that the keyword for this year is going to be focus. So I am going to focus on only 2 websites. And these are the accessory website and the new website that I've been following on the channel. Now for these 2, I want to start by getting both of these to about 100 to 125 articles. They're currently both sitting at about 60 to 70 articles each. So with my current article production goals, I think that I can reach the 100 to 125 articles for both of these sites by the end of the first quarter of 2022. Now from there I'm going for a somewhat even split, maybe 50-50, until one of the sites really starts to show some signs. So when one of these sites starts to show larger page view numbers or more possible articles, or just something that could lead me to pour in more attention into one of these sites, I will of course follow that. So maybe eventually I end up with a 70 to 30 split or something along those lines. But the main goal for now is to get it to 100 to 125 articles by the end of the first quarter. Now to keep track of all of this, I have created a nice spreadsheet, which I am going to share with all of you guys. You can make a copy of it. And it's going to be a very simple spreadsheet where you can put in all the articles you wrote in a single day for the entire year. And it kind of gives you some calculations and some estimates, and it kind of shows you how on track you are to reaching your goals. So let's dive into the spreadsheet and let's go through it. So we're here in the spreadsheet, and as I said, it's a very simple spreadsheet. So right here we've got all of the days numbered 1 to 31. And then for all the months where we have fewer days than 31, I put a big X. And what you basically do is for January 1st, maybe you've written one article, you just put in a 1. For January 2nd, you wrote another one, and January 3rd, you wrote 0. January 4th, you wrote 4 articles. And you can just kind of put in all the numbers for every single day. And what it will do for you is it will kind of calculate how close you are to reaching your goals. So right here, I've got my goal for the first quarter was averaging around 30 articles every single month. So right now, my goal is set to 30. You can change these around. Everything that isn't turned into a gray color is something you can edit. All the other ones are going to be calculated. So right here you got a goal of 30, and right now we've put in a total of 6 articles so far. So what this will calculate for you is, right here you got your completion percentage per month. So right here in January you can see that you're 20% to reaching your actual goal for this month. Now to make it even nicer, I've also added a calculation estimate for the quarter. So here you can see Q1. And for Q1 it tallies up all the article goals for Q1. So that's 90 for me, it's 30 plus 30 plus 30. And I currently have only 6 articles written, so that's 6.6%. Now lastly, I've also made a total year completion. So right here you can see if I count all of my monthly targets, it comes to a total of 450. If I have all my actual articles, I currently only have 6 filled in, so that's a 1.33% completion rate. So it's just going to be a very simple spreadsheet where you can kind of fill in everything you wrote, and you can see how far you are to reaching your actual goals. Now to make a copy of this, you need to go to File, and then right here you can click Make a Copy. This way you can make a copy for yourself that you can actually edit, and you can fill in your own numbers. So just a few quick things about the spreadsheet. As I said, everything that isn't turned into a different color should not be edited. So everything that is white you can freely put in whatever you want. But everything that is gray contains some sort of formula, so don't touch those. And that's basically the complete overview of the spreadsheet. As I mentioned, it's a very simple one, but I think it's going to be really helpful to helping you track your goals. Now lastly, before I end the video, I want to wish all of you a happy new year. Let's go out there and let's just crush 2022 and let's make the best out of it. I am super excited to get back into things. I am just really excited to get started again and to make some actual progress. And I really hope that 2022 will be an amazing year for all of you as well. So without further ado, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you've got some takeaways from it. If you did enjoy it, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.